Me. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 30 of Black Ops 3 Mod Tools. Now, in this video, I'm going to go over advanced lighting. It's about time, so let's open up Radiant and let's get it started. All right, so I currently made a test map. That way we could test out how the lighting's going to react. Now, we're going to be making a few different types of light, so let's get started. All right, now, as far as the light fixture that I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using the one from Del Ree's. Now, in case you guys don't know which one this is, hit M on the keyboard so it could bring up your models. There we go. Now, these are currently the models I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using a flashlight, and I'm also going to be using the Del Ree's wall mount, the light socket, Del Ree's light shade, and also the light bulb. I've noticed that people tend to make their fixtures, but they never add a light bulb. That's kind of strange. Like, where's the light coming from? All right, so I already have everything connected. So first things first, let's pop in a light. That way it'll show as if this is on. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit B on the keyboard. It'll bring up your entity browser. Let me bring this up a little bit so you guys can see. And what you want to do is you want to go to unsorted. So that's it right over here, unsorted. And you're going to find light. Now right click it and toggle favorite. Now when you do that, it's going to show up every time you right click, and it'll show up in this drop down box right over here. I already had it, so I just took it off. Let me do it again. Toggle favorite, right click, and as you can see, it shows up right here. You're going to be using this a lot, so make sure you keep it on your favorites. All right, so let me pop one in right over here. Let me get out of game mode. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to pop in a light right here. There we go. And let's put it right under. All right, let me see where it's at. All right, that's cool. It's exactly where the light bulb is. Now we're going to hit N on the keyboard, and we're going to bring up the entity info. Now, when you bring up the entity info, we're going to modify a few things in here. Now, first things first, we want to make sure that it's looking like this light fixture is on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to radius right over here, and we're going to put this on, I say 12. Works great with this light fixture. There you go. Now if I press F8, it looks like it's on. So it's perfect. And we can also change the stops. This is actually the intensity. So we're going to put the stops, doesn't need to be this bright. We could put it on 5. There we go. And no matter what, if I press F9, it looks like the light is on. All right, so let's actually put some light coming down. All right, so we're going to select the light bulb again. And this time we're going to hit spacebar. And we're going to copy it. Let me go from the top view. Hit spacebar. I'm going to line it up back where it was. Now we're going to pick it up right above it. Now normally whenever I see somebody make a light bulb, I see that they tend to put it right here. That way the light doesn't show. Now there's an easy way to do this. So we're going to leave it right on top. And we're going to go over to the entity info. And we're going to go to where it says primary type right over here. You're going to click on this right over here. It's going to have a little drop down box. And we're going to click primary spot. That way it'll turn it into a spotlight. Now, in order for the light to start showing up down here instead of up here, we're going to go over here to cut on. Click on that. And let's see which one will work. Let's put it on 20.00. Press enter. Okay. Now, grab this. Now, you see when the light tends to have these 4 boxes. Actually, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 boxes all around it. So what these boxes do is either controlling where the light beams go. This bottom one is the radius, so we're going to modify that one. Just grab that box, move it down. Whoa. Control Z, and bring that back. Sometimes this makes it kind of hard, so we're just going to go over the radius, and we're going to start bumping it up. Let me back up so you guys can see it. Now let me put it on 150. Press enter. There you go. All right, cool. So far it's looking good. Press F9 so you get a good look. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so as you can see, the light is starting right where the light fixture is. So just by us putting cut on 20, it worked out fine, because if we would have had it on 0, the light would have been like that. So let's put it back on 20. There we go. And we can bump it down just a little bit. There we go. That's perfect. So now it's as if the light is coming straight from that light shade. All right, let me bump it in just a little bit. Let me see if I grab this red box right over here. Actually, let me see this one. There we go. That's perfect. So we're going to drop it in just a little bit. Bow. Check that out. All right, now that we have light emitting down, let's say if you wanted to actually give it some light rays, or at least make the bottom part rounded. Let's say if you want to make it round, this bottom part, go right over here where it says roundness, and we could put that on 1, press enter, and see, it made it round. All right, now let's give this some shadows. Let's say if you want it to reflect some shadows, because at this current state, it's not reflecting any shadows at all. So what you want to do is you want to go over here to where it says primary, no shadow map. You want to make sure that that is not checked, because when it's on true, that means that you don't want shadows. So if you want shadows, uncheck it. And then whenever a zombie passes by or anything like that, it's gonna show some shadows, which is cool. It's gonna heighten the effect. All right, now let's say if we wanted some light rays, you want to be able to see what the light looks like, or at least the light in action. Now, what we're gonna do is let me see. Let me move this over real quick. Let me bring back my 2D window. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the entity browser, and we're gonna type in fog, F-O-G, and then center. Let me get rid of recent and favorites. And as you can see, it came up with lit fog. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna drag it on our map. You're gonna put it all around your map as if it was a volume. Okay. Now with it still being selected, as you can see, it's under entity info. It says volume lit fog. So you want to go over here to banks, where it says bank 1, move down, and it'll say FSI underscore 1. And right now it's currently on default. So what you want to do is you want to click on that. You're going to see these 3 little dots. Click on that. And we want to put this to ZM Factory Volumetric, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some volumetric lighting. So click on that. There we go. And also, while we're on this, scroll down where you're going to see the column that says flags. Now, you want to make sure that you uncheck enable sun, because when you enable sun, that actually, let's say if you have the regular light rays, it's going to start showing up in your map, and it's not going to make things too clear. If you don't want to see the fog in your map and you only want to see it for the light rays, you make sure that it's off. And let's say if you want to see the light rays and the fog, you leave it on. And you can see the difference right there just by me checking that. This is with it on, that's with it off. As you can see, it looks a lot clearer. So that's how you get rid of the fog and you still have good lighting. Now, there's one other thing we have to do. So we have to select the light. Remember, we're selecting the spotlight. And now we're going to scroll down. And where it says volumetric, we're going to make sure that that's on true. Click on that. And also we could do volumetric cookies. Click on that too. Hit escape. And let me build the lighting real quick. All right. And now right over here where it says, should say dev. Let me make sure that the light is selected. That's why I can't see it. We're going to go to dev right over here. You're going to click on that. You're going to go to the three dots. And we're going to go to, it could either be white light. These are pretty much different types of options that you can do for lighting. Now, the first one is white light. This is what traditionally they do on Del Rees. So we can click on that. And let me put up the stops. You put that on 12. Hit escape. And you can see the lighting now. Now, let's say if you don't want this to be too bright, just mess with the stops. Click on stops. Let's put it on 7.5. That tends to work out for me. Hit escape. And you can see the light beams now. Now, let's say if you don't want it to be in this white color. So select the light. Go over here to color. Click on that. Hit these three little dots right there. And let me turn it into like a yellow kind of look. Click on that one. Press OK. Hit escape. And check that out. Now let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Let me compile the lighting again. And let me go into F9. And check that out. Now it actually, you have light with light rays. Now let's put up the intensity a little bit more. Let me go back. Select the light. When I say intensity, I mean the stops. So we're going to go to stops. And I'm going to put that on 9. Hit escape. And there we go. It's looking pretty cool. All right, so let's mess around with another light. That way, when I go in game, we can actually see what this is looking like. And also, when you're doing lighting, you see over here where it says EV, CMP. You can either check it or uncheck it, and it'll control the way the lighting is affected. So as you can see, it gets darker and it gets lighter. Or else you can go to EV, minimum, maximum. And often, depending on what kind of lighting you're doing, it'll have an effect. So we're going to leave those both on because I don't want it to be too bright. And let's see. Let me select the light. Let me see what other options we have. Enable fallout. See what happens when we check that. Oh, as you can see, it made it a lot brighter, but we don't want it that bright. If you want to tone it down, just mess with the stops. We can put it on 5 and bow, check it out. And there you go. That's some cool lighting effect. But let me go back to that. Let me select that and let me enable fall off. All right, so let's see what else we can mess with. All right, so I'm gonna jump over to the other light now. Now we're gonna give all of these lights some different type of effects. All right, so let me press F7 and I'm gonna go over here to my flashlight. Now, same thing, we're gonna put a bulb. That way it'll be as if it's emitting light from the flashlight, as if it was on. So I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna go to light, pop it right there. Let me go from a top view so I can see where it's at. All right, that's cool. That's perfect. And let me hit N on the keyboard. That way it'll bring up this window, entity info. Now stops, we're gonna put this down because that's way too big. 5. And let me make sure I'm on F8 so you can see what it looks like. Now the radius, we have to put down the radius. because we want to make it the size of that part right over here in the front. So I'm going to put that down to 5 and see what it looks like. All right. Move it up. Hit escape. Let me hit F9. All right, cool. Now it looks like the flashlight is on. That's pretty good right there. All right, so I'm going to leave that bulb there. I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit spacebar and copy it and put it back in the same position. Now this time we're going to go over to primary type. And we're going to click on it and go to spotlight. Click on that. Now, as you can see, it's pointing down. Now, there's a cool way of controlling where you want this light to go. So let me go to F7 so you guys can see clearly. All right, now, all right, so here's the flashlight right over here. And I'm going to go over to my entity browser again. And on search, we're going to type in null. Null. And then under info, it's going to be right in the middle. It says null. There's not null, null, not null big. So we're going to click the regular null and put it right over here. As you can see, it shows up like a green box. So we're going to move that over a little bit right over here. There it is, right in front of the flashlight. Now, I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to select the spotlight, not the regular light, the spotlight, that one. And I'm going to select the null, and I'm going to press W. Now it's linked it together. So as you can see, the spotlight is now pointing in the direction of the null. Now what you want to do is you want to put up the radius of the spotlight. So hit escape, select the spotlight. Let's go to the entity info. As you can see, it's on 5 right now. We're going to put this up to 100. Press enter. And as you can see on the 2D window, you see that the light grew, but it's not going far enough. So we're going to bump it up even more. We're going to put it on 300. And bow, there we go. Now it's shining all over the place. So we can mess with, let me shrink that down so you guys can see it. Let's shrink down the radius just a little bit using the bottom box. All right, just a little bit more. Now let's mess with this right here. There we go. All right. Now, let me get out of that, and I'm going to press F8. As you can see that the light is shining towards it. Now, let's say if I would grab the null and move it around. Look at how it's making the light turn. So you can actually point it in the direction that you want it to be in. Just select, hold left click, and hold it in the middle. Or else bring it down. There we go. Or else you can hold the spotlight and move the spotlight around. Check that out. And you can move the light wherever you want it to be. This is a cool way of doing lighting. All right, so I'm going to hit Control and Z. I'm going to put it back to where it was. All right. In fact, let me put it down just a little bit. There we go. That's cool. All right, so let me back up this light. Let me move back a little bit. There we go. Hit R. I'm going to rotate it just a little bit. Let me shrink down the grid. All right, so press F8. Let me build the lighting real quick so you can see what it'll look like. All right, now you see we want this to be coming out of the light right there. So we're going to go back over to the entity info. Losing my voice. What's up with me? And let's see. So of course, select the light. If you can't get to it, just hide everything else. Click on it. Press H and hide it. Let's hide this bulb right here. Hide that. And there it is. So select the light. Now let's do the stops. Let's put that up. Let's put that on 7.5. All right, the light looks good. Now let's see. What can we change from here? Fallout, that makes it brighter. All right. Bulb length, radius, roundness. Let's go over to dev. Click on that. And this time, let's put it on a cookie flicker. All right. Now let me move this up a little bit. All right, so that's showing how the light is. Hold shift, press H. And right now the light isn't coming from the flashlight. We got to fix that. So let me see. Did I change the inner far edge? Let's put that down. So what happens when we put it on 20? No. Fallout? No. Bulb length? No. Cut off. Oh, we have to update shadows. You see where it says shadow update? Make sure this is always on always. And call distance. No. Put it on 0. And volumetric, we have to check that. There we go. Now it's working. I knew I forgot something. So hit escape, and now it looks like the light is coming from the flashlight. And of course it's hitting down here because that's where the light rays are going. So let's say if, actually this is pretty good right here. So if we go over to this side, you can see that it looks like the flashlight is on. And make sure if you want shadows, make sure you go over to, with the light selected. Let me hide all this again so I can get to the bulb. Like that one. There you go. Make sure that primary, no shadow is on off. That way you can have some shadows. Now look at it. Wow. Now it's reflecting shadows. Look at the wall. Look at all of that. And it's coming out pretty nice. All right, so let me select it. And I'm going to put down the stops. I'm going to put it down a little bit. I'm going to put it back to 6. There we go. That's even better. And let me make sure fallout is not on. All right, that's good. Now let me change the color of this. So let's say if we want to make this, go over to color, go to the 3 dots. Let's say if I want to make it it's purple. Press OK. There we go. Check that out. Actually, I don't want it purple. Hit escape. I'm going to put it to yellow. Yellow tends to work out great when it comes to lighting. There we go. Wow, check that out. And I'm going to put the stops back to 7.5 just so I can see the light rays a little bit more. All right, that's cool. All right, now let's do one more. Now let's go over to this light. Now this time we're going to make a flicking light. So just like before, we're going to put a light right under here. Go over to light. Whoa, that's super bright. Let's put the stops down to 5. There we go. That's cool. Now it looks like it's lighting up. But the radius is too big, remember. So go over to radius. Let's put it on 10. There we go. We can move it down. Actually, no, let's put it on 12. There you go. Hey, you just want to make sure that it looks like it's lighting up. Hit escape. That's cool right there. All right, now we're going to select the light. Let me go from the 2D window so I can get a good look at it. There we go. Put it in the middle. All right, now I'm going to hit spacebar to copy it. I'm going to put it back in the same spot. Now I'm going to put it above it, remember. All right, that's cool. If anything, let me put it just a little bit higher. All right, now we're going to go over to the entity info while the light bulb is selected. And we're going to go to primary type. We're going to go to primary spot. Click on that. And then we're going to grab this box that's right under it. Let's put up the radius. Now this one, I'm not going to spread it around too much because we have the flashlight doing that. So I'm just going to bring it all the way down as much as I want it to. That's too much. You want to do it right where the floor is. There we go. Now let me grab the side boxes, tweak that inward. Grab this one. That's the stops right there, so we don't need it too bright. Just right there. Let's see what the red one does. Ah, that's perfect. Now it's bringing it in closer. All right, that's cool right there. Now remember, in order for the light beams to not show up right above the fixture, we have to go over to cut on. We're going to put that on 20. Bow. And then we're going to drop it down just a little bit. Now it looks like it's coming out of the bulb. All right, that's cool right there. In fact, I should put this light on the other side. That would give some better light effects. Let me do that. So let me select everything. And hold shift, press D. There we go. And we put it on this side. All right, cool. Did I not move the bulb? Shit. All right, let me grab the bulb. Put it back in position. All right. So there it is. We already have our 2 other lights. Now I'm going to select the spotlight. Remember, I have to put volumetric. So I'm going to go over to volumetric, make it true. There we go. Now we're seeing the light beams. Also do volumetric cookies because we're going to make this one a flicking light. And we're going to use volumetric cookies too to do this. So now we're going to go over to dev. Click on that. Go to the 3 boxes. Now we're going to go to cookie flicker 2. Double click on that. And as you can see, it's giving it a crazy effect now. And there's, like I said before, there's different options you can choose, like white light, truck headlights. Look at that. Or else you could do, let's see what else. One is cool. Caustics, ink. Check that out. You know, it has a whole bunch of different lighting effects. But right now we're going to use Cookie Flicker 2. So go over to Cookie Flicker 2. Right now it's looking all crazy like a busted ass cookie. But we're going to change this up. We're going to scroll down while the light is selected. We're going to scroll down to the bottom. Oh, let's make sure we enable shadows. So primary, no shadow map. make sure that's on false. That's showing false. That way it'll show shadows. All right, now we're gonna go to Dev Tiles. So we're gonna click on that. We're gonna put 0.002 per center. There we go. As you can see, it changed the way it looks now. Now we're gonna go to the one next to it, and we're gonna also put that on 0.002. There we go. Now we're gonna go over to Dev Scrolls. Click on that. Put this on 0.5. As you can see, it's giving it a light flickering effect. Now, when it comes to messing around with the dev scrolls and the dev tiles, you want to do what you want to do is basically you want to tinker around with it. So this one I'm going to put it on 0.15. Now check it out. So it's giving it a cool light flickering effect. Now let me go back over, select the light again. Whoop, not the wall. Select the light. And, oh, let's put it on roundness. So roundness, let's put it on 1. There we go. All right, and see how it looks with fallout. That's what it looks like. But we're going to leave it on true. Fall off, excuse me. And next thing you want to do is, let's see. Let's say if we go over to dev rotation, click on that and put it on 120. There we go. Now we're going to go over to dev tiles and we're going to put it on 1. We're going to go back to the flicker, but let me just show you guys what other stuff you can do with this. Press 1. See, now it's rotating. Now let's, instead of cookie flicker, let's put it on caustics 1. Wow. You're getting kind of like a fiery kind of effect. Let's go over to a different one, ink. That's what it looks like. Let's see, cookie, sun, multiplayer apartments. There we go. Check that out. Let me shrink this down so you guys can see. And let's do another one. Let's do truck headlights. That one looks cool, but you also have to put up the intensity, or at least the stops. So we're going to put it back on 7.5 and check that out. Now also we can mess around with the dev scrolls or the dev tiles. Put it on 5. Put this one on 0.5. Check that out. You know, mess around with it. Depth shear. Put it on 1. Look at that. And actually, I forgot which one I put this one on. If you want to go back to default settings, just make sure it's selected. And then go to default KVP, and it'll put it back to its original. And let's get out of truck headlights. Let's go back over to CUC Smooth 180. Now it looks like a prison light. Let's now put up the fallout. Check that out. You know, mess around with it. You can make it like a disco light. You can make it like a regular spotlight. And as you can see, it's rotating around. But we're going to put it back on cookie flicker. So click on that. Go to cookie flicker. That's that one. But we're going to put it on cookie flicker too. And I'm also going to take off the dev rotations. So go to default. Go to dev tiles. Put it on 0.02. And this one, 0.02. There we go. Dev scrolls. Let me make sure I uncheck fallout. There we go. And put down the radius. 6. And what else should I do? I should put this on 0.001. And this one to 0.001. There we go. Let's put this on 1. And let's do this one on 0.25. And then we can put down the intensity, or at least the stops. And now you have a flicking light. If you want to slow it down, then just go over the depth scrolls and put that down. There we go. Now it's going slower. Say if I put it down to 0.008. Oop. 0.008. There we go. And change this one over here. 0.005. And it'll turn on every so often. Look at that. Hit escape. Look at the light rays. Look at the flashlight. And let's compile this and let's see how it's looking. So let me select this light over here and make sure none of the other ones are selected, because this one I want it to be a little bit more. 7.5. Okay, shadow map is off. Fallout. Alright. Cookie flicker. Dev white light. Let's change that. And let's put it on cookie flicker. Or let's do truck headlights. Nah, I think cookie flicker is better. Oh, update shadows. Make sure that's on. Always. Click on that. Want the light reflecting a little bit more. There we go. That's cool. All right, so let's compile the map and see how it's looking. Is this one working? Yeah, it's on. But I wanted to do the flicking light. Let me go back to it. Depth scrolls. 0.7. There we go. And let's put down the stops. And just a little bit more. You know, like mess around with it. There's no accurate way on, you know, everybody has their own preference. So, you know, just mess around with it, people. It's the best way to learn. There you go. All right, let me slow it down a little bit more. No, that was not what I wanted. 0.20. There we go. And let me change the color. I don't know why. I love the yellow. There we go. All right, so let's compile this and let's see how it looks in game. So right now I'm gonna go over to medium on the light settings, and make sure, see how those look real quick. And let me compile the lighting. I hope this tutorial didn't take too long. But there's different ways of doing this, and it's mess around with it. And always remember to have lit fog in your map. Now, remember, we stretched out the lit fog around like a zone. This one right over here. Now, you don't really have to do that. You could just put the lit fog under the light, and you can do it like that. But remember, with the lit fog, you can just click on it. Where is it? Okay, now it's finished with the light stage. There's the lit fog. And remember, enable sun. Leave that on false if you don't want to see the fog. But if you do want to see the fog, click on true. And look how it is. It's all foggy now. Me, I don't like the lit fog. Like, it's too many people do it on the map, and you see how you see all these different light rays. I don't want to see these light rays. Like, I just want to see it from my lights. So that's why I make sure that I leave it on false. Hit escape. All right, let me make sure I build my other light stage just in case. Do that one. All right. And let me save it. And let's compile. Let's see how it came out in game. I'm gonna leave this on. Actually, I'm gonna do export build lighting. There we go. Now let me go over to launcher and select my map. Always you want to compile the lights just to be sure. And remember, low, medium, and high, that's your light stage that you did. So that's what I'm doing on medium. All right, and let's boot in. I'm wondering how long this video took, but it was well needed. I want to make sure you guys have the best lighting. And please, whenever you make your lights, like, don't make it that every time you see the light, it's just like a circle, like on the floor. Like, try to fade away the circle and have the lighting projecting all over the place. It's the best way for it to come out. Just give it a second. Let's let this compile. I'm hoping you guys are liking this video. It didn't take long, but, it's a lot of detail I have to go over. So, you know the deal. And I'm also going to have another video for lights on the power switch and also power lights. That way, whenever you turn on the power, you'll have certain lights will turn on along with the perks. All right, let's give it a few. Come on, hamster. Wake up, buddy. Get on the wheel. All right. Wow, for a small little test map, this is taking a minute. And my PC is actually pretty good. I have about 12 gigs of RAM, a GTX 980 Ti from MSI. My CPU is clocked at like 4.7. So thank God for this PC, because for other people I've noticed that it really takes a long time. But we're doing the lighting for the first time, so after this you don't really have to compile the lighting, unless you're changing it. But let's give it a few more seconds. There we go. All right, cool. Let's see if it loads up. Nope. All right, let me uncheck these, and I'm gonna click run. Or at least build. Let me turn on the control because I have some zombies coming in. And hopefully we'll see some reflections from the zombies passing by. But let's see how it looks in game. Almost forgot that. There we go. All right, cool. Give it a second so it can load up. And we're going to check out and see how the lights came out. There we go. Look at that flashlight. Come on, zombies. Those light rays. See how the bulb came out? Look at the shadows. Look at that. Alright, let's see when the zombies come over here. I shouldn't have put this one so close because it's reflecting light a little bit too much. But you see the shadows. You don't have any fog. There we go. Alright. And check out the flickering light. That's cool. So there you have it, people. Of course, you don't have to make the light this color. You can basically make it however you want. And I just want to make sure you guys have all the facts on making the best lighting possible. Bootleg. And there you have it. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.